Well. It seems a new player has entered the battleground. The Vision Pro is now out on pre-order. How's everyone doing? I'm Mysticle, and I hope you're all having a fantastic day. Today, I'm going to be bringing you guys the latest in AR and VR news. As usual, you've got chapters down below allowing you to skip to the part of the video that you're most interested in. And with that being said, let's jump right into the video. The first piece of news that we have is a fantastic one for many, as Meta seems like they might finally be fixing our microphones. From multiple accounts all over the internet, it seems like microphones on our Quests might finally be getting better. This is a gripe so many people have had with Meta for quite some time. However, they might finally be fixing this. From both Luna and Eric for President, help, was there an update to the Quest 3 mics? Mine, and what I am hearing from others, has drastically improved. Am I going crazy? Same thing from Luna. Interestingly, just tested my Quest Pro on V62 PTC, and that mic seems to sound better. A bit compressed, but no plosives at nearest eye relief. The biggest issue with these Quest 3 mics is how close they are to our face. You know, the headset is directly on our face, and therefore it's quite difficult for the microphone to remove things such as plosives. And removing this using post-processing could be fantastic, which seems to be exactly what Meta might be doing. And multiple other people responding to these Twitter posts are saying the exact same thing, which is fantastic. I mean, the mics on these things are so important for social VR, and having them sounding good would be absolutely amazing. Now, even more things from Luna's Twitter. We've got a new experimental feature in the V62 PTC. In case you're wondering, the V62 PTC is now out, PTC standing for Public Test Channel. It's a public channel that you can join in order to test latest Quest versions. These might have features that will appear in a future software version, or features that you just get to test and then will never end up appearing. This feature has been leaving people asking, why? To quote, new experimental feature on Quest OS V62 PTC, which is actually turned on by default, that adds a shaded effect to your hands when interacting with direct touch panels with pass-through on. I'm gonna ask the same question here. Why? The idea of this supposedly possibly being for finding your hands easier in darker pass-through environments, yeah, might sort of make sense. But to be honest with you, I'd probably turn it off anyway. I just don't see the point of this one and why it's turned on by default. Let me know your opinions on this one down below though. Would you leave this on, or are you gonna go ahead and turn it off? But now we move on to the more obscure side of the software, as Luna jumps into Quest software versions and finds things inside those Quest software versions that we might otherwise not have known about. Some hidden features, some hidden code, and some things that might not necessarily ever even show up in Quest software versions. I found these strings in V62. I'm not sure how old it is, but it seems that Meta was/is testing codec avatars on the Quest Pro. Taking a look at these strings, temporarily pause codec avatar. You can unpause this feature at any time. Temporarily pause eye tracking. You can unpause this feature at any time. With codec avatars, you can enjoy different types of features in VR, such as realistic avatars. If you enable codec avatars, your headset will process data about XYZ as explained in the codec avatar privacy notice. You can always adjust which apps have permission to access this data from app settings. So you can see here, these are just some strings talking about giving codec avatars access to process, I'm going to assume, your facial data. Codec avatars, in case you don't know, are incredibly powerful, incredibly realistic looking avatars for Meta. It's kind of interesting that this string would be in here, as they are still pushing out their cartoony looking avatars and keep adding features to them. So I do wonder, if codec avatars do ever come to the headset, are they going to replace our current Meta avatars, or are they going to work alongside them? And here is another very interesting thing in the code, and personally, I'm actually quite a fan of this one. It's a wrist toggle. Was digging through Quest OS V62 PTC and found a new 3D model called Wrist Button, which has both left and right controller home buttons overlaid. They may be exploring this over the current system of looking at your hand and pinching. So in case you've played a few PC VR games in the past, for example, Lone Echo was one of these games that allowed you to have access to certain tools right here on your wrist. I personally really liked that interaction, and I would actually really like it if Meta could, put a button on your wrist here, and then it would expand to a larger menu on your wrist, potentially allowing you access to some sort of quick settings like Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, etc., and maybe giving you like a portable phone right here on your wrist, no matter which title you're in. I think that would be really, really cool. being able to, check virtual time on a virtual watch right there on your wrist in any title, instead of having to open up the entire menu overlay. Could be really cool. And this seems to be further on confirmed with a reply post with the strings, use the meta button on your wrist to summon system actions, as well as wrist meta button. So this does seem like something they could be working on. Personally, I'm a big fan, and I would love to see them bring this in a future software version. Now that we have those hidden features and features out of the way, let's move on to possibly what is the biggest deal in VR since quite some time. The Apple Vision Pro is now on pre-order. I can't buy it because I'm not in the US. Even if I could buy it though, I wouldn't have the money for it. It's an absolutely amazing looking headset and I would love to try it one day. That one day might come in a few years. So unfortunately, you won't be seeing a review of the Vision Pro on this channel unless I get to go to a store and try it on temporarily. I personally am really excited to see all the other VR creators that managed to get their hands on one test this thing out and review it on their channel. But yeah, Vision Pro pre-orders are now open. And this also means that we got to check out the actual pricing and other storage options. Deliveries are set to begin on February 2nd, when the headset will also be available in physical Apple stores. The $3,500 base model has 256 gigabytes of storage, and a 512 gigabyte model is also available for $3,700, while a 1 terabyte model is priced at $3,900. Apple previously said the Vision Pro will come to other countries later in 2024, but hasn't yet confirmed which countries this will include. Hopefully it does come to Poland so that I can try it out for you guys sometime in the Apple Store, and hopefully at that point, if there is any kinks and glitches, they have all that figured out. It seems that in the box you get the actual Vision Pro, the dual loop band that will hopefully help out with comfort, the cover, a battery, a light seal cushion, which actually looks pretty nice, a polishing cloth, and a 30-watt USB-C power adapter and USB-C charging cable. Nice to see they included the brick with that one. I find the cover quite interesting, as the Quest Pro also had one of these, and I actually found myself using it quite a bit in order to cover the front from fingerprints and dust until I lost it. So quite a few things actually in the box, including that alternative headband, which is nice. But outside of the box, you will also be able to purchase quite a few accessories for this thing, and those accessories were also revealed. With the pre-orders now being live, the full range of Apple Vision Pro accessories have just been revealed on the official Apple web store. 2 optional accessories that aren't included in the box are available for the Vision Pro at launch. A $199 official Apple Vision Pro travel case. Wow. A travel case for $200. This isn't just me being negative about the price of the Apple case. I was the same negative about the Quest case officially from Meta. I don't understand why these official cases from these companies for these devices have to be so expensive. It's why I ended up just using the Quest 2 travel case for my Quest 3, and a $49 battery holder from Belkin that can clip to your belt or trousers. That I'm not surprised by whatsoever, but I kind of feel like a belt clip for the battery could have been included in the box, as it is something that I would have felt, you're gonna want to use with a battery like this. And maybe having it clipped behind your back, having the wire, traveling up your shirt could be a nice option here. Now, here is an interesting one about some Vision Pro deliveries that have already been pushed out to March for some people. The Apple Vision Pro delivery timeline slipped into March for some people less than an hour after pre-orders opened. We already knew that Apple was going to have a very limited amount of these devices available at launch, as there's only so many they can make with the suppliers that they have. Pre-orders opened today at 5 a.m. PT, and the first deliveries are set to arrive on February 2nd. For orders placed after the first few minutes, the delivery window listed depends on the storage tier, 256, 512, or 1 terabyte, and the US state of the delivery address. At 5:16 a.m. PT, less than 20 minutes after pre-orders opened, an Ohio-based MacRumors staffer posted a screenshot to X showing a delivery window of the first week of March, which he said was both for the 512 gigabyte model and the 1 terabyte model. So it looks like a lot more people are actually buying this first day than maybe Apple thought, which is actually a great thing. It makes me smile thinking about this in VR as a whole, but it is just interesting to me that so many people are buying this $3,500 device that, well, it seems Apple might not have enough ready. I could be wrong here though, and these could just be getting deliveries being pushed out for a number of different reasons. I'm just saying that with the limited stock that we knew they were going to have, it makes sense. What doesn't necessarily make sense to me is the fact that Spotify, Netflix, and and YouTube are actively avoiding the Vision Pro. From Road to VR, a growing number of streaming giants announced that they aren't supporting the Apple Vision Pro, with YouTube and Spotify now joining Netflix to neither build a dedicated app nor allow the iPad version of their apps on the upcoming mixed reality device. I am not entirely sure why this is. The Apple Vision Pro has been announced as being able to run most iPad apps right out of the gate, and it doesn't really make much sense to me as to why these apps would block themselves on the Apple Vision Pro. And Meta has actually not announced whether their apps like Facebook are going to be blocked on the Vision Pro or not, because, there's competition there, so I kind of get that one, even though it harms the end user more than it would harm the company, I'd say. But these other apps like YouTube, Netflix, and Spotify, they don't have a headset of their own. I don't necessarily see why they're blocking this. This is just going to be annoying for the end user, having to open up the web browser and watch the videos that way, or listen to music that way. They're going to do it anyway. They're going to listen to music through the Spotify web player or watch YouTube in the web player anyway, so why not allow the iPad apps to run? If you guys have any ideas or know why this is, do let us know down in the comment section below, and I'll make sure to pin something if I find out exactly why. I guess it's not a super big deal because, again, you can just open Safari and watch it there. But again, I just find it weird that they would actively go ahead and block these apps. There are a few theories in the comment section of this article, and in case you want to check them out, links, of course, will be down below. What won't be down below, though, is apparently the link to buy the Varjo Aero, as the Varjo Aero is no longer being produced, with no direct successor. The Varjo Aero, the company's first and only consumer-focused headset, is no longer being sold on its website as production has ended. Varjo says limited quantities remain available from select retailers, and it will continue to support the headset with bug fixes and security updates until the end of 2025. Aero was a tethered PCVR headset that was launched in 2021 with the highest angular resolution on the consumer market. All of Varjo's previous headsets before this were business only, which is why people were so excited when they announced this. It seemed like the experience of having a super high angular resolution was finally going to be able to be witnessed by consumers as well. However, we will no longer be able to witness that using the Varjo Aero. So in case you guys do want to get a Varjo Aero, I wish you luck finding one, and hopefully you'll be able to get one before they completely disappear. Of course, the second-hand market is a thing, so I guess you should be able to find some on there. Either way though, that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you all so much for joining me today. I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day or night, wherever you are in the world. If you guys like this one, please do leave a like. If you disliked it, I guess this one works too. Let me know why down below. If you guys are not yet part of our community, we have a Discord and a Reddit down below where I would love to see you discussing the topics we talked about in today's video, or just talk about anything. Post some spicy memes. And thank you so much to all the Patreons supporting this channel. You guys are amazing. Seriously, much love, and thank you so much to anyone else supporting the channel in any way, shape, or form. I'm losing my voice. And as usual, if you guys want to be notified about future content coming up on the channel, make sure to smack that subscribe button with your forehead, ding my bell, and see you again in the next video. Peace. Welcome to today's episode of Mystical Lore. In today's episode, I'm going to show you guys the funny button I installed in my car yesterday. And you may be asking yourself, what does the funny button do? Well, if you press the funny button, you can go Rainbow Road. And I must say, this was a huge pain, but I think it was worth it.